What's up, my friends? What's up, my people? Namaste, blessed love, sakshizion here, and we're going to do a reading today from the Krishna book, the book about Krishna. The Vanamali took some of the earliest oral traditions and the sacred scriptures about Krishna's story, Krishna's complete life story, and this is just a phenomenal retelling. The mantra for today, for the chapter, is Om Gopalaya Namaha. Gopalaya Namaha. Om Gopalaya Namaha. Om. The celestials looked on in wonder at the sight of him to whom all his playmates staff in his left hand, a ball of curd rice in his right hand, and various delicacies between his fingers, sitting in... Let's see if I can recite the Sanskrit. Bibarath vinum jadar pathaye shringa vitre chakakshiye vame puna masarina kavalam ta hasayan namarbabi sawai Swarge loke mishati buj buje. He had decided to have a picnic in the woods. He blew his horn loudly to wake up his companions and set out with the pots with their lunches. Though their mothers had adorned them with golden ornaments, they embellished themselves further with leaves and flowers, peacock feathers, and mineral. How can one describe the good fortune of those inhabitants of Vrindavan, before whose physical eyes stood he whom yogis fail to attain despite austerities practiced in many lives? At this time, a demon named Agha, Putna's brother, made his appearance in the form of a huge python. He lay in wait for the boys with his mouth open like a cave. The boys, on seeing him, thought him to be another extraordinary feature of the scenery of Vrindavan. He had kept his tongue laying huge hanging out, and they mistook it for a newly made road and ran right into his gaping mouth before Krishna could stop them. Though he knew who it was, Krishna entered Agha's mouth and there grew in size, so that very soon, out of the body of the monster, they saw a radiance coming out of the python and merging into Krishna. They let the calves drink their in the middle and sat around him in circles, looking like the petals of a lotus. They ate from plates made of leaves, bark, and petals. Think of the sight of him, to whom the most delicious food offerings are made at costly sacrifices conducted by kings, sitting in the middle of his friends, sharing their simple fare, joking with and teasing them, and offering them delicacies from his own hoard. Seeing this unique sight, the creator Brahma the calves into his own world, known as Brahmaloka. After enjoying this delightful interlude, and that he himself would bring back the straying calves, still carrying a half-eaten ball of rice in his right hand and a staff in his left, he wandered off in search of the calves. Unsuccessful in his attempt to find the calves, Krishna returned to the riverbank to find that the boys had also vanished. It dawned on him that this return home they were still missing, so he took on the form of all the missing boys and calves, the sticks and slings and the pots and flutes. This is the experience of the yogis in God consciousness, when they see all us, the cowherd boys, as the toys and the vessels, and as himself, the soul of all beings. Krishna entered into Vraj. As this remarkable contingent returned, the gopis and the mother cows was Krishna Maya, filled with Krishna's being. Therefore, on that day, no one saw any difference between their own children and Yashoda's child. A jivatma, or embodied soul, due to its past karma, results of past actions, is born in our wombs, and we pet it, fondle it, and call it our own, flesh of our flesh. But Krishna is more than our flesh. He is the Paramatma, or Supreme Soul. Naturally, they loved him more dearly than their own children. For 1 full year, this impersonation went on, and every evening, when the little cavalcade consisting of so many Krishnas returned to the village, the gopis bathed him and fed him and fondled him and put him to sleep in all their houses. With the cows, it was the same. Thus did the Lord spend 1 year in the houses of the gopis as their own sons, and as calves and gopalas. This was to fulfill the desire of the gopis to have him as their son, of overwhelming affection by the gopas and gopis for their own children instead of for Krishna, and realized that it was all the play of the Lord. He tackled into the secret. A human year is only a minute to Brahma, so when he came back a while later, he was surprised to find the scene exactly as he had left it. Krishna was sitting in the middle. The gopalas were seated around him, and he was holding a half-eaten ball of curd rice in his right hand and the staff in his left, teasing and laughing with them, while the calves frisked around them merrily. Brahma was thoroughly confused. He knew for sure that he had just whisked away the calves and boys a while ago, a year ago to be exact, according to human calculations, and here they were, all exactly as he had seen them before. In compassion, the Lord gave him the eye of wisdom, with which he saw that all the boys and calves were replicas of Lord Vishnu, four-armed, holding the conch, discus, mace, and lotus, wild flowers, and many divine ornaments. And what was more wondrous was that the inanimate beings, including himself, were of great devotees to see everything as Vasudeva or Krishna. And this was the experience that Brahma had. His pride was thoroughly humbled, and he did not know what to do. At last, the Lord had pity, going about in search of his divine vehicle, the swan, in haste, and prostrated before the divine child, and began to extol him. Let's pull up this picture of O Lord of Lords, even I, who am the firstborn, having come out of your own navel, cannot understand the mystery of your form, which is not fashioned of material elements, but of your own will, in order to bless devotees. Who can calculate your attributes? Only the one who surrenders himself, body, mind, and intellect to you can become eligible for liberation. I am but a spark of your mighty flame, and therefore it behooves you to pardon my stupidity. You have demonstrated to me today how the one undifferentiated consciousness, as you were in the beginning of cosmic time, came to be differentiated and changed into numberless forms. Self, Brahma, to create, yourself, Vishnu, to uphold and sustain the creation, and Shiva for its dissolution. O Almighty One, O Bhagavan, no one can say anything definite as to where, how, when. It is all part of your divine mystery. Without you, there is no world. You are the truth. You are the self. See you, the one universal spirit as manifesting in all, certainly overcomes this samsara, or transmigratory existence. Bondage and liberation are not actual facts, but mere names arising from ignorance of the. Just as in the sun, there is neither day nor night, but only eternal effulgence. You are the indweller in all, yet people search for you outside, and thus can never find you. But without your grace, none can ever come to realize this truth. Pray, confer the boon of bhakti or devotion on me, so that I may be ever or a man or animal. How fortunate are these women and cows of Raja, for in the form of their sons and calves, you suck their milk for one whole year. What is the good of being a god like me? I would deem it the greatest good fortune if I could be born even as a blade of grass in this enchanting forest of Vrindavan, of the Vrishni Yadava clan. You are the master of the universe and the lord of Raja. To you, O Krishna, my homage for eternity. Brahma prostrated before the lotus feet of the blue boy of Vrindavan, circling him 3 times, and departed to appeared. But since they had been in Brahma's world, they felt that they had only been away for a few moments. There is no memory that cannot be effaced by the Lord's Maya. The boy said to Krishna, "You've returned soon. You haven't even finished eating your ball of rice. Come and sit comfortably and eat." They concluded their interrupted picnic and returned home a year ago. Now that he had attained the grand old age of 6, Krishna was promoted to look after the been hitherto forbidden. A dear friend of his said to him, "Not far from here there is a palm grove that is forbidden to us, since the wicked demon Dhenuka flavor. Please let us go and get a few fruits." Nothing loath, Krishna said, "Come, let's go." He was ever ready to meet the most taxing demands of his friends, so together with Balaram, he entered the forbidden forest. They looked at each other. Balaram, the incarnation of Adishesha, and Krishna, the avatar of Vishnu, and an unmistakable message passed between them. With the roots fell down in clusters. Hearing this sound, the donkey demon came rushing out furiously and kicked Balaram in the chest and threw his dead body onto the top of a palm tree. The tree crashed down, killing a number of other trees, felling a number of other trees. The boys came rushing into the forest, shouting excitedly. They picked up the palm fruits when ripe, have a slightly intoxicating effect, and by the time they went home, all of them were slightly inebriated. With the death of Dhenuka, the forest was liberated. People could collect as much fruit as they liked, and the cows too could graze without fear. So that's it for today, my friends. We're going to end right there. You heard 3 stories. The Aga demon and Dhenuka. Let's find some pictures. Krishna and Dhenuka. See that? That was the boys thinking that the demon Aghasura was just a new road, just a new interesting feature in the landscape they never noticed before. Krishna goes inside the Aghasura. He becomes like larger than life. He increases his side and he kills the demon, saving the boys, right? The boys just happily running into the mouth of the Aga demons, and Krishna, he saves the day like always. Look at this old picture. This is cool. I love these old artworks. Oh, there you go. Here's another cool old one. You see Krishna inside. Krishna expanding himself to save the day. Here's another cool one. Okay, and let's do one more picture of Krishna and Aghasura. Right, and then you saw Lord Brahma and Krishna and Danu. Oh, there you go. Here we go. Krishna and Balaram throwing the ass demons, Dhenukasura, up into the palm trees so that the cowherd boys could get the delicious, intoxicating fruits. Here's another one. Look at Balaram throwing that wicked donkey. Krishna and Balaram saving the day once again. So that's it, my friends. I recommend this book. It's full of incredible stories. The Complete Life of Krishna. If you ever wanted to read all of Krishna's life and learn about his book similar to this, it's called the Krishna book. Commentary in the book, which is, to be expected and is quite informative. But this book, I love stories, and it's told in, a very in a success. Let's do story time tonight. Balaram, Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for tuning